Really? Seriously? Infuriating. You would think I would be talking about the fact that this Ford Edge with the alternator from our last video came back with a dead battery, but that's not what I'm upset about, because we're going to fix that on the paid channel for you guys that subscribe to Schrodingers Box Quantum Mekanix. No, I'm not upset about that. Here's what I'm upset about. So I was contacted by this family on the Nextdoor app, and they asked me if I wouldn't mind examining a used car they found on Craigslist for their son. So I went and took a look at this 2009 Nissan Sentra, which was just totally perfectly fine looking, and gave it a thorough once-over. The only thing I could find wrong with it had a broken motor mount and needed a serpentine belt replaced. I mean, just totally minor, easy-to-do stuff. And I said I would fix the car for them if they buy it, but that it was an absolute safe bet. So they bring the car back to me to do the work, and look at this. Okay, I can look past these rims, like literally, I can look past these rims and see these are just plastic covers on there. Okay, fine, nice touch up to the car. But then there's this new addition, which definitely wasn't there when I was inspecting the car. Look at this coffee can. All right, let's see here. It says DC Sports. Hey, that is appropriate. DC, because this is comical. I just noticed, what's that extra little hole for right there? That must be for extra airflow when it's in super turbocharger, extra centrifugal boost mode. If I had this car, I would want everybody to know that it is powered by PD Performance. I don't even know what that is. PD Performance. Oh, look at that. They're right here in Colorado. Yeah, let's check out this website here. And 3 different exhaust tips. Let's look at their products. 3 different exhaust tips. Okay. What are those exhaust tips good for? I think it's 50 horsepower. Okay, so the worst part of this is the guy says that he noticed there's some kind of a squeaking with the suspension or something like that. So that means I actually have to drive this thing around and be seen in it while I try to figure out what that noise is. Oh my God. So this car has a 4-cylinder, 2-liter engine with 140 horsepower. So it's a good thing that I've got this grip steering wheel here so that I can keep control of the car while I'm drifting to sleep. All right, well, I was a little bit curious. I just wanted to see what the 0 to 60 time would be, but I was never able to find out because by the time I got to 60 miles an hour, I was already where I needed to go. I was, however, shocked to find that this car actually runs 12s. Yeah, right. In the 8th mile. In the 8th mile. They actually do that, by the way. They actually, I swear to God, I go to the track. I run my car at the track. They actually do measure in the 8th mile for rice burners like that so that they don't feel embarrassed. It's amazing. All right, got to take a look. See where the turbo or the supercharger are. That's a pretty small engine, so it's got to have some type of forced induction. I don't see it, but you know, maybe they hid the supercharger, you know, like under the intake or something.
You can't see my turbos because they're underneath all that shit.
All right, maybe it isn't configured for racing, but once that VTIC kicks in, yo, boy, you better hold on. All right, had about enough of that, but man, the thing about driving that car, I mean, can you imagine that feeling when you're at the stoplight, you got your fart can rumbling and all of that, and then a 2000 Trans Am with 710 horsepower grumbles up right next to you, and then all of a sudden you got to act like you're driving Miss Daisy, and you got to look forward and pretend you don't even notice what's next to you there so you don't get challenged. You know that feeling, what I'm talking about? Because I sure don't. As for this thing, you know, you were there on the last video with me. It was 100% that this alternator was bad. And new alternator, and what was it, 5 days later, the car comes back on a tow truck with a dead battery, charge system isn't working. So what we're going to do is we've got 3-part series up right now on the pay channel. That's at www.schrodingersboxqm.com. It's only $3.49 a month, but it is worth it, honestly, just for that video alone. As I walk through Mitchell Do-It-Yourself live, looking up the information, seeing anything we overlooked, step-by-step review of wire diagrams, and I even developed my own test to find out for sure whether we've got some kind of PCM issue or something like that based on the new information that I learned from Mitchell. I just had an idea, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my test light here, and I'm going to put it on battery negative, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to ground out the MON signal and see if we get a change on that scan tool PID, which indicates to me the PCM can read that monitor and the wiring integrity is good. I'm talking $3.49, and you'll learn more about electronically controlled alternators than you ever would. Plus, spend the rest of the month looking at other awesome videos, especially, if nothing else, the electrical training series on basic electrical. After watching that series, you will understand electrical like you never have before, and you will be able to use your multimeter and test light at advanced levels like you never thought possible. Anybody off the street can do it. Again, only $3.49 a month, and plenty of other great case studies. Again, with the same format, explaining and understanding the systems completely on the dry erase board, and then actual application on the vehicles so that we can sink in what we learned from the classroom portions. All right, again, if you don't see value in that, totally understand, not a problem. We'll still put content out here, but just offering, not judging. But those of you guys that are members, you will not want to hesitate. Head over there, watch that series, guarantee you'll enjoy it. And yeah, the other thing too, just wanted to point out that you know my policy. If I am wrong and it turns out that the alternator was not the problem, I have to buy that alternator. I own up to the mistake. I would have made the wrong diagnosis. And I have a lot of people that accuse me, well, you don't actually do that. You just say you do. Well, here it is. Here it is on YouTube. I'm saying it right out here. And the owner of this car can well be aware that if it's not the alternator that is the problem, here it is, here's the evidence right here. Yes, that is my policy, and if it turns out I'm wrong on the diagnosis, I will own up to it, pay for that alternator, and still find out what really is wrong. But you got to tune into the pay channel to find out. Yes, kind of a dick move, kind of a cliffhanger thing, but hey, I got a new house payment to pay for. I'm desperate. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you found this entertaining. We'll see you on the pay channel. Goodbye.